And so I wrote an article for Forbes last year, and it's when's the right time to sell? And I get asked this question all the time. And I tell people I created the rule of 130. You take your age as a 2-digit number, and then you add to it the percent of your net worth that's tied up in this illiquid thing known as your business. And you add those two-digit numbers together. If it equals more than 130, you are probably taking on too much personal risk, and it's time for you to diversify. World's uncertain. Weird things happening every day. There's wars, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Bad things do happen to business from time to time. Go back to the pandemic, think about how many businesses were open one day and the government shut them down the next. And, it's like bad things can happen, and a successful exit is not guaranteed. And so as we get older, we have too much concentration of our wealth in our business. And if something bad happens beyond our control, we may not have enough time to recover from that. And so I always tell entrepreneurs, I worry about entrepreneurs out there. It's like, I want you to partner with institutional capital. Anybody I work with, if you got a business that's worth 100 million or more, game over, stop. Don't go any further alone. Let's take 70 million of that off the table. Let's roll 30 million forward. Now let's work with an institutional investor. Let them have control. They didn't bring a management team. You can now become aggressive again because you've got the asset diversification. That's the other problem entrepreneurs have, is they get around 50, and they're like, they know that they have a lot of their net worth tied up in this business, and they start making bad business decisions, and they aren't investing for growth, and they're not expanding like they used to because they don't want to kill this thing before it's time to cash out. So I tell them, cash out, roll over 30%. If you can get a 4 times multiple of invested capital, you're now getting $1.20 for every dollar you rolled over. And $1.20 was more than the original dollar you got. Second bite's bigger than the first bite. Third bite's bigger than the second. You're now playing with house money. You're using other people's capital. And instead of building your business on your trajectory, if we've added buy and build, I'm now buying 20, 30 companies, and you're getting a percentage of that arbitrage through your rollover investment. And you're now accelerating wealth creation at a faster pace than if you had stayed independent. I do this with entrepreneurs a lot. I'll build a spreadsheet. How big are you? What is your current revenue? What is your growth rate? Let's run that forward 5 years. Let's run that forward 10 years. Make your assumption at what exit multiple would you trade at these different places. Now let's build another row across on the spreadsheet, and let's go ahead and sell the company now. Take 70 cents home, invest it, pay taxes, invest it. Don't forget to count the investment, return that we're getting from that money. Now I'm a minority shareholder. I'm using somebody else's checkbook. And instead of just growing on my trajectory, I start buying other companies. I start accelerating the pace of growth. I'm doing all these things on an institutional scale. And now at 5 years, they exit. I get another bite of the apple. I take 70 cents home. I roll 30 cents forward. And I keep growing again now with somebody else's capital. Exponential growth compared to what I was doing on my own. And, I take these multiple paydays and I total them all up, plus the proceeds of the investments that I diversified. I've never yet built a spreadsheet where an entrepreneur makes more money by staying alone, independent, and 100% shareholder versus selling, becoming a rollover investor, and continuing to grow the business that they already know. And the end result is it's not a one and done event. That first exit is not the last exit. It was just the first exit on the highway. And then we come up on another exit, and another exit, and I monetize every one of them. And it's like collectively, I've got asset diversification. I'm building wealth faster, and I'm ahead of the game.